Okay. So as most of you know, I love the Dark Lady. I mean, all of that is evident by the fact that I have made so many videos on the Dark Lady, and may I just say, I think I called her correctly. I think that throughout all those videos, all the haters, all the doubters, I have shown what Sylvanas is all about. I have called what Sylvanas is all about, because it all made sense from the beginning if you weren't absolutely blinded by your perceived hatred of Sylvanas. If you opened your mind and you looked at the bigger picture, it almost instantly made sense where she is coming from. But Blizzard is setting us up for something miraculous in the Shadowlands. If I am correct, I'm not saying I am, I might be very, very wrong, but I do think that Blizzard is setting us up for a massive plot twist. And a plot twist not as people expect it to be, where Sylvanas is sort of redeemed, but where we are brought around to her way of thinking. In other words, this is not about redemption. I do not believe that Sylvanas will be redeemed. I don't want Sylvanas to be redeemed. I believe that what will happen is that we will see things from her point of view. That is what I think will happen here. And Blizzard is putting everything into place to have that happen. So watch with me.
I do hope you've settled in. The accommodations are a bit sparse, I know.
Alright, so I have to start off with just saying, I love her arrogance. I love the way in which she presents herself. I do hope you've settled in. The accommodations is a bit sparse, I know. The level of arrogance that she perceives here is just, it's absolutely breathtaking, if you will.
No.
Where are the others? Are they safe?
Safe? No. I wouldn't say any of them are safe.
I am so tired of your games.
As you wish.
There's a level of respect, and this is one of the first things that you have to, yes, Patty Mattson, absolutely insane, right? As a voice actor, she is just brilliant. She knows what she's fucking doing. But Blizzard is immediately starting to set up a level of respect that is gonna... Sylvanas respects very few people. She had a ton of respect for Varian Rin. She had respect for Saurfang. But she respects very few people, and there's almost immediately an establishment of, shall we say, respect that happens here. I am so tired of your games. And she meets him halfway. She's like, okay, fine. Then we'll stop playing games. I'll tell you exactly what's going on. It's interesting that he is also the one that she chooses to share the truth with.
As you wish. No more secrets. No more lies. You are a weapon we will use to achieve our ends.
I will not become an instrument of death.
So you favor life. Is that it? That momentary flicker. Every cruel second spent delaying the inevitable in an endless war that you, like every Rin before you, will not survive.
As I stated, if you look at the and respect is going to be established a few times throughout this. This is another point of that. this is another part where respect for Anduin is being established. Like every run before you, I told you guys, if you read Before the Storm, that moment of Varian Run's death, that hit Sylvanas very, very, very hard. Sylvanas did not appreciate Varian Run dying the way that he died. And now listen to her monologue here. Listen to the monologue that she has here.
Saying the inevitable in an endless war that you... It's no more lies. You are a weapon we will use to achieve our ends.
I will not become an instrument of death.
So you favor life, is that it? That momentary flicker. Every cruel second spent delaying the inevitable in an endless war that you, like every Rin before you, will not survive. You know the truth. Nothing is fair. Not life, not death. So we're going to tear it all down.
And what purpose would that serve?
Alright, so this really does play quite heavily into, if I still have that open, I'm not sure if I still have it open, but it does play quite heavily into her opening remarks in this cinematic.
Ours is a cycle of hatred. Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world. And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
That moment, all of it, runs as a singular monologue. Everything that Sylvanas has done throughout her time runs as a singular monologue in a build-up to what will ultimately become this monologue, the final monologue. And for those of you that are saying she has fans, she is an elf. That kind of makes sense, right? They do have those. But okay, so this, all of that, you have to take all of that and you have to bring it forward to this moment here, because this is the moment where it all comes to a head, right?
Everyone suffers, Sylvanas. But destroying everything will not take away the pain.
Oh, you misunderstand.
That is ridiculously important. Anduin just told her, destroying everything will not make a difference. And she responds immediately with, you misunderstand. We're not looking to destroy everything. This is not about destroying life. This is not about destroying the planets. This is not about bringing it all down. This is the same thing that Syed Anathrius says here. Death will inherit the world. Gul'dan actually said this. In the end, death will inherit this world, and she will be waiting. This was Gul'dan all the way back in Legion. It's not about killing everyone. It's not about destroying everything. It's about us. It's about the rules. It's about this system. This is what Sylvanas is telling him. You misunderstand. We're not looking to destroy all things. We're not looking to destroy the universe. We're looking to destroy the systems that's been put in place. And what comes to mind almost immediately as I hear that is this.
Let it be finished.
Listen to this.
The High Overlord falls. I trusted you.
We already know that this is an aside. This is an aside. She's not saying this for the show, for the crowd. No one else can hear this. This is between her and Saurfang. I trusted you. I made a big deal out of this 4 months ago, where I said this moment is what should have proved to people that she is not the evil bitch that you think she is. Because she looked at everything that she wanted to achieve and she could not understand, she could not fathom why Saurfang could not see the truth, why Saurfang would ultimately go against her if Saurfang only knew. He lost his son to the bigger games of the cosmos. He lost his family to the games of the cosmos. He, more than anyone, should understand what she is trying to do. I trusted you. And yet, he did not understand. He did not care.
We're breaking a system that has always been flawed and remaking it into one that is just.
Now, I do want to point out, I never like things like this, right? I said this also during my initial discussion on this. I despise things like this. Whenever you have a group of people that think they're going to fix the world for the rest of us, it usually ends with millions dead, right? Because no one has the perfect answer. In the end, at the end of the day, freedom is the only real thing. But that is where this plays to. This is where it comes to. So I don't like that part. I don't think Sylvanas should be the one who decides what is the fair and just system. There should be no one person can decide how the rest of the world should live. Freedom is the only real goal. It's the only real way we know of making as many people happy as humanly possible. What's important here is what this is building towards, what Blizzard is trying to set up on this. So pay close attention to where we go next.
Do you expect me to believe that all this time, you've been fighting for justice?
How can I convince you?
Again, there's a mutual respect being set up between Sylvanas and Anduin. It is slow, it is in its infancy. Believe me when I tell you, I'm not trying to tell you that they are best friends or fastest friends even, but it is being set up. Blizzard is setting up a back and forth, and I believe that the reason Blizzard chose this method for it is because of its importance. Anduin is going to have as much of an effect on Sylvanas as Sylvanas is going to have on Anduin. Anduin says to her here, you expect me to believe that all this time you've been fighting for justice? And what does she tell him? No coyness, no off-the-cuff remarks, which we know Sylvanas is famous for. You would expect her to have some sarcastic line about how he should know better. None of that. There's a sincerity. How can I convince you? How do I prove to you that I'm not lying? There is a sincerity in that.
From our first breath to our last, every decision is made for us. Then, the afterlife decides what eternity we must endure. We can't even choose who we...
As I said before, so important. So important, that pause, because this is drilling down. Excuse me, let me just quickly get something to fucking drink here. My voice is really getting fucked. Sorry. This is the moment, right? This is where it all drills down to. This is at the core of the hurt, of the pain, of the driving force behind her. We cannot even choose who we... And the idea I get from this is almost a swallowing. As I explained on Twitch as well. when you're on the verge of giving away a secret so dear, so personal, so emotionally vibrant within you, but you don't feel as if it's the right time. And as the words almost leave your lips, you swallow them back, you draw them back into you. Who we love. We cannot even choose who we love. That is how she wishes to end that, because she can't choose who she loves. She doesn't have the emotion of love. When she was killed and brought back, that emotion was not what she was brought back with. And we have that confirmation if you've read We Write Forth. The Death Knights discuss how this works. When you die, you get brought back with an echo of one emotion. You don't feel that emotion entirely, but you have an echo, an inkling of understanding that emotion, but only one. All other human emotions is completely gone for you at that point. Sylvanas got brought back with rage. That is the only emotion she got brought back with. So she has no love. She doesn't know what it feels like. She can't experience it because that's not what she was brought back with. Now, if you think about it, Sylvanas risked her own standing in Elven society to love Nathanos. And after her death, that love was gone. It was never brought back. She can still remember it. She can remember that this is the man that she loved, but she can never be with him because she cannot experience that love. This is a very important part of the cinematic.
First breath to our last. Every decision is made for us. Then, the afterlife decides what eternity we must endure. We can't even choose who we...
A moment.
We couldn't control anything. But through the jailer, control of our fate will at last be possible.
There is definitely an admiration of her, but this is where, again, we see this establishment of Blizzard, the earliest of establishment of a rapport, a back and forth between Anduin and Sylvanas, an imprint between the two of them, right? There is an imprint that's happening. There is a moment, there is an equal respect that is being established. This is where I say Anduin is going to have as big of an effect on Sylvanas as Sylvanas will have on Anduin. Their influence on each other will take World of Warcraft into a brand new storyline. So let's just listen to all of it.
But through the jailer, control of our fate will at last be possible.
Look around you! At what and who you've joined. What makes you believe you're not just a weapon to achieve his ends?
Want to point out, in all of this, Anduin does not disagree with her entire fucking monologue. Everything she has just said, Anduin doesn't disagree with. He doesn't raise any issue with the things she has just said. Anduin's one problem is who she sided with. Not that she wanted to tear down the universe, but who she decided to join in tearing down all of the systems. He gets angry at her and she does not reciprocate. She listens. She responds. She listens. They are debating.
Look around you! At what and who you've joined. What makes you believe you're not just a weapon to achieve his ends?
You have a choice to consider. Join us, will.
What was interesting there is that she does not even flinch. When he tells her, what makes you think that you're not just a weapon to achieve his ends? Sylvanas does not even flinch. There's not a moment where she goes, maybe. What if? It's almost as if she already knows the jailer will use her to achieve his aims, but that she maybe has a different plan altogether. Something that hopefully even the jailer doesn't figure out until it is far too late. So yeah, a game of wits, a game of, shall we say, 10D chess at this point? Like, how many Ds are we up to when it comes to the fucking chess game at this point?
Believe you're not just a weapon to achieve his ends.
You have a choice to consider. Join us willingly, or be made to serve.
I thought you believed in free will, Sylvanas.
We've never had free will, little lion. But that is about to change.
Very interesting line there. And as I stated on Twitch as well, Sylvanas does believe in free will. What Anduin says there is so very true. The way she set up the Forsaken, it has always been about free will. But it has also come to her realization. She has come to the realization that there is no such thing. Even though you might want to think there is, it does not exist. Free will is an illusion. We are pawns of this system. And she tells him that. We've never had free will, but that is about to change. So my prediction for the future of the Shadowlands, for how this expansion will play out, Sylvanas will eventually manage to convince Anduin of her vision. To convince Anduin that things are not the way that it should be. That things must change. But it will be Anduin that convinces Sylvanas that the way in which she goes about it is wrong. It will be Anduin that convinces Sylvanas that if she truly wants this, it is time for her to lean on her fellow soldiers, to lean on the Horde and the Alliance, and not to once again go to another cosmological force. Because remember, Denathria has already said that. Denathria has already told us it will be death that claims this world. Yet another force, another god, another entity, yet less free will. I believe this cinematic to be the single most impactful cinematic in Shadowlands. I believe that this cinematic is setting the tone for the future of the Shadowlands, and most likely for the future of the Horde and the Alliance, both. And I believe that Blizzard is already setting it up to a point where we will overthrow the Eternal Ones of the Shadowlands. If you look at every single covenant, what is it that you have within each of those? You have a mortal ready to take over in every single one of the covenants. Draka, Kalthas, Uther, Ysera. You have a mortal from Azeroth set to take over on each of these covenants. This might just end with us fighting the Eternal Ones of the Shadowlands. And if I called it now, and that is what fucking happens, that's 2 years. That would be a new fucking record, just by the way. That would be that I called the end of the expansion 2 years before the end of the expansion actually happened. Just want to point that out. Just gonna put that there. That might be how all of this plays out. I don't know if it will, but yeah. What do you guys think of this?